Creative Trades here, and today we're going to take a look at the Rove R2 4K Dual Pro. And this is a really nice dash cam from Rove, and the best part about these dash cams is that they come with everything you'll need and really well-written manuals to how to use them. The quality is also very good and they're very simple to use. The ergonomics of this camera are very good, and that's probably the best thing about it. It's set up really well. It looks like somebody who's tried out a bunch of different dash cams and seen what they like and don't like about them and put all the things that they like into one simple dash cam. And so it's really easy to use, it's really easy to set up, and the instruction manual is very well written. A lot of these instruction manuals I get with dash cams are kind of broken English or translated really poorly. This one's really good and it's actually very thorough, so if you do have questions about how to use it, the user manual does do a very good job going over that. This one comes with a couple different ways to mount it. You can use the suction cup mount or the 3M standard mount, which is just a sticky, and they are removable. The other nice thing that I really like is that the GPS unit is built into the camera. A lot of the units have a separate GPS system that you also need to plug into the camera and stick up on the dash, and it can be really cumbersome and cluttered if you have more wires than you need. So this one builds it right into it on the top here, so that's nice to see. I also really like that it has physical buttons. You can just reach up and feel without having to take your eyes off the road where the emergency record is. It goes over all the ways to use them as well, so very simple to use camera. And again, the power button's right on the side, very easy to use, and you can take it right off of the mount. So this is a 4K front and 2K rear camera. A lot of cameras you'll see just are 1080p in the rear. This is a true 2K camera in the back, and the night vision is very good with these Sony Starvis 2 sensors. So this camera comes with a lot of stuff. I'm just gonna go over the main things that are really good. So it has obviously the wires to connect them. It's got the normal 3M mount. You can adjust it. You can slide it on and off, so you can remove the dash cam without removing the mount. Has a sticky suction cup mount, which is very good. Again, if you're gonna use a suction cup mount, if you've used one before, you know they don't work super well. This one it has adhesive on it as well, so these ones do work much better than just the standard suction cups. Has a normal 12 volt lighter plug for it, and also it has a USB-C port as well in the plug, so you can plug something in while your dash cam is already plugged in, so you don't have to use up just the port for the dash cam. You can still use the port. And then this here is the lens. This is a anti-glare lens, and this is really, really nice, especially in super sunny weather. You can adjust it and make it so that the glare is really cut down a lot on your clips. I've seen a lot of dash cams and a lot of dash cam clips out there, and these make the quality so much better. You don't realize what a big difference these make until you use them. And these basically just pop onto the outside of the camera for the front, and they basically are a filter that filters out a lot of the unwanted glare on your windshield. So these make it so that your video quality is much better than you would realize. And the camera said it works best with the filter on during the day. Usually it's better to take it off when you're driving at night though, and it just screws on, it pops right onto the front, so it's not hard to take on and off. It also comes with static clings. These go on your windshield so that you can not have your 3M sticky pad stuck to your windshield. And if you want to remove it, these make it so you can just rip it off real easy and it won't leave any residue on your windshield, which is awesome. It comes with a little protected sticker if you want to add that on there. I've never seen that before, which is kind of cool that it has that. Also comes with a 128 gigabyte micro SD card, and also comes with a standard SD converter. So if you don't have a standard SD port that you're working with, you can plug the micro SD into that and it will work on a standard or a micro SD port as well. So good to see. A lot of good stuff that comes in here. Okay, so here is that filter lens that I was talking about. It basically just put on over the front camera and you twist it. And then once you get it on there, you can look in the viewfinder and rotate it based on what direction it filters the light the best. You can go outside, put like some papers up on your dash so they make a big glare. You can adjust this to see what the best way is, and it will filter out those unnecessary lights that are blocking your view. So again, it's super simple. If you want to take it off at night, just pop it off. All right, so here's the electrostatic film. You basically just slide this off and you attach this to your dash, your window. Don't put it on the bumps. This will make it a lot easier to remove your dash cam when you want to do it, because if you stick this directly to your windshield, it rips and pulls because it's so sticky. You stick it to your static cling, you pull your static cling off, the whole thing just pops right off. It's nice to see. This is also reversible, so you can put it either way. The clip will work with the adjustment for the tightness, for the angle. It will work on either side, which is also, again, very nice to see. So push that on there. And then once we have that on, we're gonna adjust our angle, pop it down here, plug in our dash cam. Very simple. All right, so then these cables are labeled here. So this is rear camera cable. So this is, it says power only, rear cam only. So this one's gonna go to the rear cam, so we're gonna plug it in. Obviously, if you were installing this in your car and wanted to keep it here for a real long time, you'd put it through the headliner using the trim tool that they come with. I'm gonna be setting this here for testing purposes. So I'm just gonna send this to the back of the vehicle. Then I'm going to take my 12 volt plug, attach my USB to it, plug that in here, and take my power up to the power only section. Again, if I was putting this in my vehicle, I would be putting these up through the headliner and running them that way, so they're not dangling all over the place. They got plenty of cord here as well, which is good to see, because a lot of these, you don't want these to be short, because if they're short, you're not gonna be able to run it where you want it to go. So again, real simple to do. You plug it in, attach the back camera and the front camera, and you're good to go. Rear camera, same thing. You're just gonna remove the sticky, attach it, and again, you can spin this to whatever direction or angle you'd like to. I'm gonna attach it right here, push on there for about 30 seconds so it sticks on there. I'm gonna adjust this while I'm doing that so it's where I want it. Looking right out the back window. Then I take my power and I'm gonna plug it into the back here, right on the side. Again, super simple to install, nothing fancy, nothing crazy, very simple.
Recording stopped. Video settings.
So going through the settings, you can go push the down arrow and then the OK to see what you want. You can look at the front cam or the rear cam. There are some options here for FPS, which is nice to see. Some people don't like having such big files, so you can go through, change those. And it's really simple. The menu button is back. OK is to go forward. You can have some different options here. You can set the loop recording. All basic stuff here. Video recording G sensor, so how big of an impact doesn't need to do a emergency record. HDR settings allows you to have some better exposures, so it allows the picture to be a little bit more even regardless of what the outside ambient light is like. Can change the exposure levels, the time-lapse record, the compression rate, bit rate. Parking mode, you can set up, you do need to have the parking mode set up by hardwiring the dash cam, which I'll go over in a little bit as well. So it's got a lot of different options that you can change. You have timeouts, you can have do the audio, very simple stuff. I put speed on there if you'd like to, put it in units as well. The GPS will record that as well. You can go to the Wi-Fi to hook up to the Wi-Fi to get the pictures straight to your phone. I usually prefer to just take the SD card out and put it right into my computer. I think it's a little bit easier, but it's got a lot of different options for anything you would need. Rotate the video too. If the back camera is upside down, that will allow you to do that. So it does have pretty much any option you would need in a dash cam. There's really nothing I would prefer to have that isn't included in this dash cam. So again, it's very simple to use. You pretty much just plug it in and it's ready to go. Starts recording once you format it for the first time. So the hardwire adapter is really cool and it's really simple to use. They give you some good tools in here. The only thing you'll really need is wire crimpers. You could use pliers if you didn't have wire crimpers on you. The manual, like I said before with the other manual, this one is very all-encompassing. It answers a lot of questions and shows you exactly how to install this. Nice thing too is they give you a lot of different options for different size fuses because different vehicles have different sizes, and this gives you everything you need all set up, ready to attach. Basically, so what this does is this plugs right into your dash cam, and then there's different options here on the side of it. You can change the cutoff, so when it turns the power off on your dash cam so you don't drain your battery, you can put it down lower towards 11.8 volts or 12.4, depending on how low you want your battery to go before it turns the parking mode off. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna use this tester to find out which fuse you're gonna tap into. You attach this to a ground nut or screw somewhere underneath by your fuse panel. You're gonna pop off the cover so you can see it. And then when you touch this into the fuse area, it will show you how many volts are reading in there. So you can tell when your car is off. If you find a fuse that's on when the car is off, you can use that for your red wire to attach to always on power. So you pop this into that fuse location. If there's a fuse already in there, you can still use it and put the fuse into this open spot here and it will work as well. Then you're gonna turn your car into the accessory mode where you turn it one key click so that the ignition is in the on position. Same thing, you're gonna find one that's on only when the ACC is on, and you're going to plug in the yellow one to that fuse area. And then you're gonna hook the ends of them to the correct color wires here. And then this one you're going to put onto a grounding screw. Make sure it is attached, don't just set it on there because it'll fall off if it's not, doesn't have a nut holding it on. And try to get a metal screw that's attached to the metal frame of the vehicle. There should be some underneath by your fuse panel. But it's very simple to do, and then you just run your wires up to your dash cam, and that's all there is to it. And the nice thing is they give you everything you need to do that. So the hardware kit is very easy to use. Even if you're not very mechanically or electrically inclined, it makes it really simple for you.